Petra Kvitova remains focused on the Miami Open despite the possibility of claiming the world #1 spot next week. Petra Kvitova has brushed off talk of potentially being world #1 at the end of Miami after a 6-4, 3-6, 6-4 win over Donna Vekic. The Czech Republican had to work hard in order to advance to the fourth round as she edged out Donna Vekic 6-4, 3-6, 6-4. A break in the first game of the final set was enough to seal the win in a 2-hour and 35-minute battle as she kept up her hopes of being world #1 alive. However, the third seed refused to talk about potentially being world #1 after Miami as she focused on the importance of today's win. "Right now is not really important to me," Kvitova said about being #1 in the world. "Important was that I won today. I did have few chances to be world #1 already in my career, and I didn't just make it. But I'm still here and still fighting. We'll see what the future brings. But for now, I'm really fine. Actually, I already achieved big things before, and since my comeback, as well, so I'm really satisfied with everything already." Her win in Naomi Osaka's defeat means that she is among 3 women to be in contention for the world #1 spot. Should Kvitova reach the final and Simona Halep and Angelique Kerber fail to win the title, then she will be the new world #1. However, that is the last thing on her mind and is just happy to remain at the Miami Open. "I think it was great tennis, long," Kvitova explained. "It was a big fight. I'm glad that in the third set I stayed on my serve, you know, just one break over there. I'm really happy that I got the win." In the fourth round she will play Caroline Garcia, who defeated Julia Gorges 6-0, 7-5 to reach the last 16. The Australian Open finalist claimed it will be a big challenge. "It will be a big challenge, for sure," Kvitova stated. "I think that she's on the way back to her great form as she had 2 years ago, I think when she reached the top 10. She played amazing in Asia. It will be nice one." A win for Kvitova could see her take another step closer to that dream of being world #1. BNP Paribas will no longer sponsor the Davis Cup after 17 years. Gerard Piqué and David Haggerty, at Tennis Reporters, Twitter, BNP Paribas have ended their 17-year title sponsorship with the Davis Cup as they rebrand to the World Cup of Tennis. The move was announced in a press release as BNP Paribas looked to focus on sponsoring the Fed Cup as well as the junior and wheelchair events. It is clear that the move has been finalized due to the Davis Cup's new 18-team format, which will be tested in November this year in Madrid. Although there has been criticism of the new event, this is the first time a sponsorship has been dropped from the Davis Cup and the banking company's intent. Head of Communications, Bertrand Cizeau, explained his decision. "We decided with the ITF to conclude the Davis Cup by BNP Paribas partnership as the competition format evolves," Cizeau explained. "During 17 years, we have been happy alongside fans, players and local audiences, all around the world, and to have fueled their passion during unforgettable matches. The move is certainly stunning to the ITF, but their president David Haggerty to thank BNP Paribas for their contribution. BNP Paribas has made a vast contribution to the success of the Davis Cup as a title sponsor over the past 17 years, Haggerty said. "We are proud of the great work we have achieved together for Davis Cup, and we look forward to continuing our relationship across a number of properties from the grassroots to the top of the game. The dedicated partner will continue to work with the ITF with a variety of schemes and projects including developing the junior and wheelchair events." However, with talk of a 12-team Fed Cup event similar to the Davis Cup one, would BNP Paribas stop its partnership with the Fed Cup, and how would that impact the ITF? As for David Haggerty, he will now aim to rebrand the competition into the Davis Cup, World Cup of Tennis, as many see this as a significant change in the history of the competition that has now gone on for 118 years. 6-time Miami Open champion Novak Djokovic beat Australia's Bernard Tomic 7-6, 7-2, 6-2 in just 73 minutes on Friday night at the Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. Djokovic has scored his 6th win in as many matches against the Australian player and his 43rd win in 49 matches in Miami. The world #1 player fired 11 aces and dropped 15 points in 10 service games. Tomic converted his only break point of the match at love in the 5th game of the first set, when he hit a forehand return winner. The Australian player wasted 3 game points in the next game, and Djokovic broke straight back to draw level to 3-3, when the Australian player netted a backhand. Both players went on serve in the next 6 games, setting up a tie-break. Djokovic got 2 mini breaks and won all 6 points on serve to seal the tie-break 7-2 after 47 minutes. Djokovic dropped just 7 points in 4 service games, and broke serve at 15 in the opening game of the second set. Djokovic went up a double break when Tomic was serving at 2-4. Serbian star hit 3 winners in the 8th game to seal the second set 6-2 in his first match at the Hard Rock Stadium. Djokovic has bounced back from the third-round match against Philip Kohlschreiber in Indian Wells. Djokovic set up a third-round match against Argentina's Federico Del Bonis, who edged past Australia's John Millman 7-5, 3-6, 7-6, 7-2. Tomic does not give you much rhythm at all. Every ball is different. He can play equally well in the court and far behind the baseline, slows down the pace. He just has a very unconventional shot. It's hard to play someone that you cannot predict what's next. I played better in the second set. Overall, it was a solid match. The court in the Hard Rock Stadium has a very court. They have done a really good job. They have taken a very bold step forward in the right direction. For us, being a part of the Miami Dolphins Stadium is a treat, said Djokovic in the post-match interview. Djokovic shares the all-time Miami title record with U.S. legend Andre Agassi. It's the first weekend of action at the brand-new Miami Open, which relocated this year to the Hard Rock Stadium, home of the NFL's Miami Dolphins. Alexander Zverev at Australian Open, Twitter, by Matthew Merrill. Rain disrupted play at multiple times during the past week, but after a jam-packed order of play on Friday, the tournament is back on schedule. The men's bottom half of the singles draw will complete their second-round matches on Saturday, while the women's top half will play their third rounds. And with this being a 2-week event just like Indian Wells, the doubles draws feature many top singles players with some unique pairings, and are well worth your attention. Sasha Zverev 2 vs. David Ferrer, WC. David Ferrer, at Mundo Tennis 31 Twitter. Zverev is ranked 3rd in the world, but seeded 2nd in Miami due to the absence of Rafael Nadal. Ferrer was given a wild card to compete in one of his last professional tournaments, as he'll retire at the Madrid Masters later this spring. The 36-year-old Spaniard got off to a strong start on Thursday, taking out American Sam Querrey in straight sets. Sasha holds a 4-2 edge in their career head-to-head, and has won their last 4 meetings. That includes a match last year in Miami, where Zverev came back to win after dropping the first set. They also played just last month in Acapulco, where Sasha comfortably won the second set after claiming a first-set tiebreak. In a non-tour match earlier this year, they met at the Hopman Cup, where the 21-year-old German prevailed in an extended battle decided by a third-set tiebreak. A finalist in Miami last year, Zverev is definitely the favorite, but Ferrer is fully capable of making this interesting. He'll be the sentimental favorite for sure, and will have the full support of the Miami crowd on Saturday evening. Angelique Kerber, 8 vs. Bianca Andreescu. Bianca Andreescu, at @Andreescu_ Twitter. In the other night match inside Hard Rock Stadium, it's a rematch of the fantastic Indian Wells final from just 6 days ago. Coming off that life-changing victory, an early loss in Miami would have been understandable for the 18-year-old Canadian. But Andreescu fought back from down a set in her opening round this week, and won in straight sets just yesterday. Now she'll face a 3-time major champion who will be thirsty for revenge. Last Sunday, Andreescu was able to out-hit Kerber deep in the third set despite exhaustion and the onset of cramps. During a changeover in that third set, Bianca told her coach, "I'm so tired." But she would then say, "I want this so bad." Her determination has been tremendously impressive, as is her record of 28-3 this year at all levels. This run though must come to an end at some point, and this feels like the match where that could happen. That being said, I've been wrong in betting against Bianca a few times in the past week alone. Other notable matches on day 6, Naomi Osaka, at tennis, Twitter, in his first match since losing the Indian Wells final to Dominic Thiem, Roger Federer, 4 vs. Rafael, who upset Fabio Fognini in Indian Wells. Last year, after losing the Indian Wells final, Federer lost his opening round match in Miami to Thanasi Kokkinakis. In a rematch of a 3-setter from this year's Australian Open, Naomi Osaka won vs. Su Weisheng, who can drive her opponents crazy with her unique playing style.